Hey everybody, welcome back to Lemon Branch DIY. Today I'm working on my Sierra again. This time I'm working on the back cover. I have one of these covers that go on the back of the truck, yes, and the clip broke that holds it into place in the back. I'm going to show you how to fix it. All right, so as we come to the back, you know, I've got one of these covers, and as you can see, it's supposed to latch back here. It is broken, so the clip right there is broken. So we got to tear this thing apart and see if we can get it fixed. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to actually open it up so I can kind of look at it from upside down. So this is the contraption right here. Basically, they sell several of these as an aftermarket because most of these covers, you know, they're all different brands and whatnot, so they're all a little bit different. But basically what we've got is it's a clip like this, and this little plastic piece breaks. What we got to do is we've got to open this up and expose it, and then I bought an aftermarket one of these. I'll leave the link in the description down below, but basically we're going to put this inside there. So how we're going to do that, so we only have just a couple tools. We're just going to, and every one of these is a little bit different. Sometimes it could already be exposed. Mine is not. So I'm just going to unscrew this screw here. And I'll just put this screw up off to the side. And this should just slide out, which it does. And that basically exposes this same exact clip. Now you'll notice that mine that I bought, the new one, it's a little bit smaller than this guy. Well, it's really hard to find this exact piece because I don't think they make these anymore. Because like I said, most of these come from China. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to retrofit this guy to make it work on here. So I've got a couple ideas, and it shouldn't be too hard. But let's go ahead and pull this thing apart. The first thing we got to do is obviously we're just going to remove these here, and this is a 5/16 is what I'm using. And like I said, it could be something different for everybody, but I'm just going to loosen up these bolts. And you can see how the cable just pulled that back because that's under some tension. So I'm just going to undo these by hand, and I don't want to lose any of these, so I'm just going to put them on here off the side. We just need to undo the cable. So you see how there's a cable in there? That's what pulls the latch back when you go to release it. So what we're going to do is we're going to undo that, and that just has like a little Allen wrench in it. So I'm just going to unscrew that. There it goes. It's not even that tight. So basically we're just going to unscrew that guy. And by doing that, I'm able to remove the cable. This is just the end of the cable here. Now everything should be free, and I'm going to pull this whole contraption out. So this is what we have left to work with. And let's take a look at this guy. When we flip it over, obviously there's this plastic piece. We are going to leave that. This will just stay right there, so we won't bother with that. But this here is what broke. So you can see the little clip in there. The new one, you can see underneath, is a lot smaller. So if I try to put this now down into it, it's none of the screws line up. So I can do one of two things. I could either drill some holes into this and just use some washers, or what I'm going to try and do is reuse my bracket but put the inside of this clip inside here. So let's take it and see if we can open these guys up and see if we can remove this piece inside here. Okay, so I just brought it back into the garage so I could kind of see it a little bit better, and you can see that these are being held together by these silver rivets. So you see these little pop rivets, these little rivets are holding these two pieces of metal together. So we actually have to drill those out. And same with on this one. This one, it's a little bit different style of rivet, but there is a rivet still in here, so we got to drill it out. Okay, so I'm just finding a drill bit that's just a little bit bigger than the rivet, and I'm just going to drill right through it. And then one thing I would recommend is just getting like I just found an extra piece of wood, just so I can drill down into the wood, so I can put a lot of pressure into it. So I'm just gonna drill out the rivet. Okay, so now we'll drill out the other side. Okay, so once that cools down a little bit, I'm gonna try and just take a screwdriver and pop the two pieces of metal apart, just like that. You can see it just kind of pops apart like that. And now that just exposed the spring and the broken clip. So we want to keep that together. And now we just need to get this little plastic piece out of this one so that we can just put the new plastic piece in here, and then we'll put all this back together. I think instead of drilling out the rivets, because I don't need this plate, I'm just gonna use my screwdriver. All right, so to get in here, I'm just gonna take my screwdriver, and you can see here, see how these pieces of metal are just folded down like this? I'm just gonna put my screwdriver in there and pop them up so I can slide this thing out. So I'm gonna do that is I'm just gonna take my screwdriver, I'm gonna take a hammer, and I'm gonna just get down behind it, just like that. Once that starts to lift, then I can wedge the screwdriver down underneath it and start popping it up. Now that we've got that out, this is the little guy that we need, this thing right here. To put it back together, what I'm doing, instead of rivets, I've got just some small little nuts and bolts here. So it slides right through. I'll put this little nut on, we'll tighten it up, and then we're ready to reinstall this right here. Okay, so we're back now at the truck. This is gonna fit just perfect now because all the holes line up and we're using the original bracket. So now that I've got these little bolts in there holding this thing back nice and tight, I'm gonna do one more thing, and that is I'm gonna take some of this 3-in-1 oil and I'm gonna drip it down inside here just so it will slide back and forth a little bit easier. So this is how it looks when it gets all put back together. And then you can see that the cable goes through this little mechanism, and we got it all down nice and tight. So when you pull on that cable, you can see it retracts and then comes back with the spring. All right, so that's kind of what it looks like here on the end. You can kind of see you got a nice clearance on that. So now all we got to do is let's put her down and test it. So these are slam latches. So you just let it slam like that. And then if we come back in here, you'll see it's latched in there. All right, so that's gonna do it for us today. And like I said, that wasn't the worst fix that we've ever done. It's a little bit challenging when you're trying to get those rivets out. Once you get those rivets out, then everything, it's just a matter of just piecing all the new stuff back together. And just kind of take your time with it. It'll go back together and you're able to use a lot of the original equipment and everything will line back up. So thanks again for joining us. If you did like it, make sure you hit that thumbs up. It really helps us out a lot. And subscribe to the channel. We're doing stuff all the time. So thanks again for watching, and we'll see you on the next project.